Good evening, Facebook. Good evening, YouTube. Carl's Conversations. Just coming to you for just a few minutes this evening to encourage all of you who have not registered to vote for our election in November. Hey, I'm encouraging you to go register to vote. Please do so. Please let your vote be heard this November, not just for the presidential race, but there are many elections taking place in your local city, town, or county, statewide elections taking place. Please be involved. There are many, many organizations who have information posted. You can always go to your state's website for voting. Usually, your secretary of your Commonwealth or Secretary of State will have that information. So don't cheat yourself. Do not cheat yourself. Make your voice heard. There are many forces who want to suppress voting, and there's a big fuss about voter fraud. And we want to make sure that you are doing the right thing and have the right information. And if you live in the state of Virginia, there are new laws that went into effect on July 1st. And I'm going to take just a minute to go over some of those. And the first thing I want to say is to all of you who have felonies and you have lost rights and you still have not applied for your right to have your voting rights restored, please go to restore.virginia.gov. Follow that process. Very easy process to follow to get your voting rights restored. And remember, you want to do that. We're fast approaching the November elections. You want to jump on that as fast as possible so that you can get your application in and get it done. From what I understand, they'll tell you it's like a 2 week process, but they're having so many applications that the 2 week process is turning into an 8 week process. So if you have a felony, please go to restore.virginia.gov so that you can apply to have your voting rights restored. All right, real quick, there are a few changes in Virginia to the voting laws. Change number one, we can now use the absentee ballot 45 days prior to voting. This is our early voting. Prior to the change in the law, you had to have a reason why, and there was an approved list of reasons. You do not have to have that now. So you can do early voting by absentee ballot up to 45 days prior to the election, and there's a process for that too. There is no more requirement for ID. Of course, photo ID is the easiest way to make your identification positively identified, but you don't need that. If you don't have a picture ID, you can use your voter registration confirmation documents. You can use your utility bill, use your bank statement. You can use a government check or paycheck or other government documentation showing your name and address, even expired Virginia driver's license. That expired date will not count you out as far as proving your identity to vote. All right. So once again, no photo ID required. If you do not have a photo ID, you can use your voter registration confirmation documents, a utility bill, a bank statement, a government check, a paycheck, or other government documents showing your name and address. And if you don't have that, you can sign a document uh, that you are who you say you are. And please understand that voter fraud is a felony. So we don't want to do anything that is illegal or untrue. And if you don't have ID, you don't want to sign a statement, you will be given a provisional ballot. And no way will you be turned away if you show up to the polls to vote. All right. So, change number three, the election day is now a Virginia state holiday. That now takes the place of the Lee Jackson holiday, which is repealed. So election day is now a state holiday. The Lee Jackson holiday has been repealed in place of the election day holiday. If you do any DMV transaction in person in the office or on the website, you will have the opportunity for information to be used for voter registration. When you do that, there is a option to decline for your information to be used that way. And you'll also be having a statement saying that, the information that you're providing is true. Once again, voter fraud is a felony. We don't want any voter fraud. What we want is voter access and and voter registration and people to exercise their right to vote. We got expanded timelines ballots. So if your absentee ballot is postmarked on or before election day and arrives by noon the third day after election day, that vote will be counted. In your absentee ballot, if it is postmarked on or before election day and arrives at least by noon of the day after election, it will be counted. And also, poll and extended. The polls are no longer closed at 7 p.m. at 8 p.m. So there you have it. All right, just a little quick deal there. Please vote, know the law, and if you are having questions about anything that I'm saying, you can go to State of Virginia website and go to the Secretary of the Commonwealth. All this information is there. You can go to Governor Ralph Northam's page. All of this information is there. All right. Thank you for your time and your attention. Good night.